the first thing about acceptance is a very big agony in our
Very
country
true.
like India. Make the parent understand is you have to accept your child. Not the
Correct.
condition.
True.
If you are accepting the condition, you are wearing the specs of those conditions.
Hmm.
My appeal to parents would be some kind of preparedness is required for your child to be sitting in that school. Why aren't you wanting to work on that development which is going to give you this preparedness before beginning with those academic concepts, those academic activities, those cognitive skill development? If I'm taking Omehani's example, at the age of 5.5-year-old, but her level is somewhere close to a 2.5-year-old child. Yes. Do you want to see Omehani in a 5.5-year-old autism children special who is set up, or you are okay and you are very happy seeing my child into 2.5-year-old lads who are very typically developing? Where are you more happy as a parent to see your child?
When the child is in those
Yes.
initial years, it's really easy to mold them. How do you deal with adult autism? Because that stage is gone.
What I want to see in my child is independence. He starts living for himself initially, then he starts thinking about the people around him. That is, he goes on to the family. He becomes an integral part of the family by helping them out, by performing certain things for them, by being productive in the house itself. I would want this child to become more productive in the society. So integration in the society is the third step.
What are your plans about your child?
Now I'm focusing on my child's mental.
So, welcome both of you to the Dolly Show today, and we're so glad that you both are here. And yes, today as well, we are going to discuss a new topic as we always do. So, this is what makes the Dolly Show unique. We have our professional who is Dr. Saumil with us. Thank you so much for being here, Doctor. And we have our parent Aysha, and I welcome both of you.
Thank you.
And my first question, first to you and then to you, would be first and foremost, I would love to know your journey because I found it something really interesting. So, yes.
Yes, Dolly. So, first of all, thank you for this opportunity to be there on the show, presenting my views, my opinions, my studies, my research, my everything what I've gained, all those experiences which I've gained about dealing with children with certain difficulties. So, my journey did not start as Dr. Saumil. Eventually, it is now into Dr. Saumil. I started as Saumil. I wanted always to pursue some kind of healthcare profession because I had certain personal experiences of me being in KM with one of my uncles who was ailing, and I always felt that the job of a doctor was always a very noble one. So I wanted to pursue this profession. I'm an occupational therapist by my educational qualifications, although that was not by choice, but it was by chance.
Wow.
But I'm enjoying that chance which I took in my life, and I'm trying to live the essence of being an occupational therapist, wherein I'm helping my parents as well as my children to get back to their normal routine, to get back to their basic occupation. See what happens when child with disability or any kind of a dysfunction does come to you. It is not the only child; it is the entire family who is affected.
Correct.
Along with family, definitely the parents who are the most immediate people who get impacted because of the condition of the child.
True.
Mental health gets affected, even their social circle gets affected, even their involvement, participation in the society, everything gets affected.
True.
Some people might also have to leave their jobs, maybe stay back home. Some professionals who have done a lot of higher education, but still they have to kind of take care of the child by sitting back home, going for regular therapies and stuff like that. So somewhere we at CRC, I'm not just going to portray my journey. I would be wanting to become the voice for our team in CRC. We always believe that we want our parents to go back to their profession, go back to their occupation, go back to their original life which they dreamt of.
Correct.
We want our children to be integrated into that normal mainstream once again, because somehow that journey got disconnected. So we want to reconnect that journey, we want to rehabilitate them, we want to get things recovered for them with regards to their developmental milestones. So this is how I have transformed myself as Saumil to Dr. Saumil. This is kind of that journey in a nutshell.
Very inspiring because, what happens is once you have already perceived your career, you are in doubt. Scale, is this possible? So you have shown that it is possible.
I would just like to add up one small thing. over here.
Yes,
I find the quote just behind you. Do
Mhm.
what you love and love what you do.
exactly.
So somehow I would want to connect to this quote that after being an occupational therapist, after being exposed to CRC, that is kind of my first professional journey.
Mm.
With CRC is my first one. So I have just loved whatever I was doing.
Mm.
Okay, and somehow now it is transformed into what I always wanted to do. So
Wow.
it is kind of connecting what I always wanted to do. I wanted to bring certain changes in society. I wanted to bring certain changes into people's lives.
Mm.
I wanted to impact and affect their lives positively. That is what I find myself doing this right now, along with the collective efforts of my team.
So you have found your purpose in life.
Yes, you can say.
Fantastic.
Over to you. After an inspirational speech that we have got today. Yes, over to you. I want to know your journey, how you started with your daughter Omehani, and how did it?
Actually, in my college times, I had a voluntary do the go and teach the kids who are ADHD, who are autism in Sophia's college. Voluntary, not any
Yeah.
single penny or not any bucks,
Hmm.
nothing. It's voluntary.
Hmm.
So I know the symptoms.
Hmm.
This is the symptoms.
Hmm.
I seen that symptoms, not for me.
Hmm. Hmm.
When I call my daughter, she listen me.
Hmm.
She do that thing. Okay, you are calling me. I'm pretending I'm not listening.
Hmm.
I'm just checking whether I'm right, I'm wrong. Even I call that doctor when I when I work voluntarily in Sophia.
Hmm. Hmm.
She told me there is nothing.
Hmm.
Just be calm and go through it, whether it's right or
Hmm.
not, whether it's serious issue is there or not. Just go through it. Don't be panic and don't do what happened to my daughter.
Hmm.
Don't do that.
Hmm.
If it is there, patiently deal with that.
Hmm. Huh.
The first thing my doctor, this not a doctor,
Hmm.
it's my friend
Hmm.
of Sophia's college, said be patient, be calm. If it is there, so you have to make yourself very calm and very patient.
Hmm. Hmm.
And that thing you will give your daughter patient and calm.
Hmm.
What you are, your nature is there, your daughter will
Will
take that nature.
replicate the same. Hmm.
So be calm and no be panic,
Hmm.
not be panic, not be so harsh.
Hmm.
Okay, patiently you are not listening. I will say 1,000 of times.
Hmm. Hmm.
You don't believe that a single word.
Hmm.
No.
Hmm.
I don't know how many times I repeat that no.
Hmm.
No.
For her to learn.
No, to learn. Now she's saying when no.
Hmm.
If she whether she want to do or whether she don't want to do, she says no.
Okay.
I don't know. No ways.
Hmm.
Before lockdown, screen time,
Hmm.
lockdown, work from home.
Hmm.
My son is also there in online classes, online studies.
Hmm.
So her screen time increases,
Hmm.
and her mama time is not there.
Hmm.
That mama time take TV, and it gets very horrible impact. That's
So, what was that age when your child was diagnosed?
2.5 years.
2.5 years. Okay. And when did you start therapies?
After 2.5 years, suddenly when
Okay.
she is there in the
Mm-hmm.
bucket.
Hmm.
So we go to. Then we get to a Kharga center.
Hmm.
So over there we went 2 years.
Hmm.
Like this.
Okay. Got you. So, it's been a sort of a roller coaster ride.
Full of
But then now,
now
you
she's
are-
like, okay, Mama, you are saying this. I'm willing to listen, but it still depend on me whether I want to do or not.
yeah, perfect.
But before, I don't want to listen anything. Anything means anything from
Okay.
anyone.
Okay.
Like this.
Okay. And what is her age now?
5 years.
5 years. Okay. Great. So, yes, I can totally understand. It's not an easy thing for parents.
It's
But
totally
it's
normal parents too become a very special parents.
So Nice to know about this. And yes, we will get back to you with a few more questions. Over to you. So today our topic of discussion would be Pica, which is something new that the audience also can learn about. So I would really love to know, what is Pica and how does it affect children on the autism spectrum?
Okay, so when we talk about this condition, pica, it is that the child would try to eat, try to mouth, try to bite something which is inedible, something which should not be eaten. Anything which is apart from a food item, the child would just pick it up and try to take. Now, the basic factor or the technicalities of the science behind the condition of pica is that we all have certain senses, we all integrate those certain senses, we all register those senses. Now, the registration capacity and threshold of each and every person is different. Let's say you have a bigger, larger glass for tactile input. I have a very small glass for tactile input. So what will happen? The moment something fits in this glass, in my glass, since it is a smaller one, it would be overwhelming for me, even the smallest thing. But for you, the glass is so big. मैं बहुत सारी चीजों का टैक्टाइल इनपुट ले रहा हूँ, मैं यहाँ से भी टच कर रहा हूँ, यहाँ से भी टच कर रहा हूँ, बट वो मुझे मेरा ग्लास नहीं बन रहा है, रजिस्ट्रेशन इनफ नहीं हो रहा है, जिस वजह से the child keeps on going and touching each and everything, and since the awareness of the entire body and awareness of the hands is lacking, everything by default goes to the mouth. The child is not doing this purposely, the child is not doing this out of a dysfunction, it is a complete appropriate function of exploration. The child wants to explore, the child wants to get more new information about that toy, that object, that something animated that the child is seeing. उसने लिया, उसको touch किया, he did not get enough information, he's taking and putting in the mouth. Can you recollect with a typical 8, 9 month, 10-month-old child, what he'll do? He'll take it, grab everything, try to put it, try to mouth it, he'll grab everything, put it. What is the child doing at that time? The child is wanting to explore. So somehow, there is a part of function which is involved. The child wants to explore, even in Pica. It is just that many times we fail to understand the basic science behind that, that it is because of tactile sense which is under-registered. The child is wanting to become over-explorative, wanting to touch everything and make it reach to the mouth, because since the hand awareness is also not that greatly developed, the entire body awareness is also not that greatly developed. What is developed the best is the oromotor awareness. Why? Because the child is eating every day since so many years. So यहाँ का awareness बहुत बढ़िया है. It is like well developed. Now this well developed thing is being connected with the hands. Everything which the child wants to explore gets to mouth. So this is kind of a stage, an immature stage as a child. Mouthing is one of the most primitive reflex. Yes, one of the mouthing is a reflex, rather I would say. So the child is reflexively taking things and putting in the mouth because of lack of awareness. So there's a lot of technical aspect of this as a therapist, which the therapist should try to focus on the tactile sense, tactile registration, and get it covered up through sensory integration therapy. And yes, in the house, the parents need to develop a lot of hand awareness by giving a lot of opportunities by getting involved in the daily routine functions. What happens is parents with autism generally think that I need to keep him involved and engrossed every day, 24 hours, giving activity. ऐसा नहीं है. Okay, अगर yes. So what happens? I'll just tell you. If I want to get my child involved and be behind me 24 hours all the day, is it actually practically going to happen?
No.
It is practically not possible even for a typically developing child.
Correct.
Isn't it?
Correct.
So what are the expectations of a child, with a parent of a child with autism? It is so high that my child should always keep on following me, the child should always keep on learning from me. But उसके अंदर ऐसा होता है कि हम है ना वो जो इन्होंने जैसे कहा एक स्पेशल पेरेंटिंग अपना लेते हैं. We try to adapt to those special things I would have to do for my child with autism, special parent I have to become. Okay. There's no differentiation between an autism and special parent. We need to meet the child where the child's level is matching. We need to meet the child's understanding aspect, we need to meet the child's cognitive aspect, we need to meet the child's social aspect. Once you meet him over there, automatically you find a typically developing child.
Correct.
And automatically you find function in a dysfunction.
Correct. So true. Yeah. It so well resonates
Yes.
when you go back and think about the series.
Yes. So I always tell my parents, it is not about being a special parent.
Hmm.
Every child is very special for their
Yeah,
parent. Even
true.
I, you, all of us are very special for
Hmm.
our parents.
Hmm.
It is just that where you are catching your child, where you are connecting with your child.
Hmm.
If you're trying to connect with your child with autism at 5.5-year-old,
Hmm.
you are not going to succeed.
Hmm.
You have to try to understand that my 5.5-year-old child with dysfunctions is actually operating at what level.
Hmm.
If you start connecting with that natural child,
Hmm.
automatically you can take the development of the child.
Hmm.
But
Hmm.
this thing is very important, and I adapt this thing very importantly with underlying and design
Highlight.
with highlights. Okay, accept what she is having,
Hmm.
not go through and not run before what age she is having.
Hmm.
Just accept what she actually is having.
Hmm.
What
And-
her mindset is there.
Hmm.
What she is going to. If she want to play with water,
Hmm.
play with water.
Let her play.
If you want to play with sugar, play with sugar. You also play with sugar, with random things.
Hmm.
Two things I would just like to reflect on what Aysha said. Is the first thing about acceptance. Acceptance is a very big agony in our
Very
country like
true.
India. Specifically talking about India, acceptance is a big issue,
Big.
big problem, be it into all class and all strata of society. Highly educated, less educated, acceptance is something. But यहाँ पर acceptance है ना बहुत जरूरी है कि आप किस चीज का acceptance चाहते हैं. What do you want to accept? You want to accept your child or you want to accept condition?
Hmm.
Because since if you are accepting the condition, you're going to go ahead with the condition.
Hmm.
If you're accepting your child, you're going to go ahead with your child.
With your child.
And at CRC, what we want to promote and we want to make the parent understand is you have to accept your child, not the
Correct.
condition.
True.
If you're accepting the condition, you are wearing those specs of those conditions.
Hmm.
You are always going to
Then
see your child and scrutinize your child through those.
Like that, okay, she is having like.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Which
You
is so
always
wrong.
look like that only.
Hmm.
If you says, okay, she is my daughter,
Yeah.
then you will not see any problem.
True that. True that.
So look like my opinions. So look like I have my son
Hmm.
or daughter.
Correct.
Don't look what she is facing or don't what she is suffering.
True.
Suffers is
I
destiny.
think in this world, everybody has something or the other, be it neurodiverse or neurotypical. Everybody is dealing with something
Something is there.
or the other. But yes, I agree that you're not doing, you'll have to put in extra efforts. But then,
The struggle and effort is something which will help you to go to the next level. That is
Correct.
what something which we feel as professionals. What we talk is newer challenges are going to polish your skills, enhance your abilities,
exactly.
and going to make you prepare for the better opportunities which are going to come in the future.
True that.
So, second thing which I would want to reflect on what Aysha said about the mobile screen time and stuff
Yes.
like that. What happens initially, parents do not have that much of time and they kind of give a lot of
I
screen time.
know.
Now the screen time, cartoons, videos and reels and all these material is kind of replacing the parenting.
Hmm.
Okay, somehow we have to make the parents understand
Hmm.
you have to replace them back and you have to get into the place so that the child starts following you and not those videos and not those accent and not those content from the social media or from YouTube or from wherever we
There.
can.
Hmm.
So we always ask our parents that your child should look forward to you. Your child should follow you because that was the essence of parenting, why you elected to become a parent in the very first place.
Hmm.
You wanted to transfer those things to your child. You wanted to give all those things. So you have to become that source of information, energy, exploration, play, interaction, communication, a lot of sources. You have to become back, which now you had lost the role to the screens and to the mobile, into everything else.
But somewhere, don't you think it's become such a busy life that you sometimes don't find that time? So, like, how do you go about that?
I just mentioned about that. Getting your child involved in whatever you're doing is the best strategy to handle the child in the house and to develop simultaneously. Okay,
Much
now that would be
very
definitely
helpful. Involve your child, involve
Yes.
your kids.
But
It's very helpful.
be in my situation, suppose
yes,
I'm coming to work.
yes.
How do you handle that?
Still, are you a single parent as of now?
No.
What situation are you taking into picture?
Supposedly, me and my husband both are off work.
Yes,
How do you stop your child? You're not with the child.
absolutely.
So then how do you go about that?
Absolutely. I do not mention that working parents won't develop their child. They would definitely.
But
develop
what's
their
that
child.
way of doing
I'll tell
it?
you. I'll tell you. This is a very common question which
Yes.
parents do ask me. Sir, we are working parents. How do you expect us to give? How much time do you feel in a day we should be giving?
Exactly.
Please quantify us. Please give us some guidelines as per इतना तो इतना करना ही है, ये schedule पूरा करना ही है. I just ask them, how much time do you have with your child? They say 1 or 2 hours. Or overall, throughout the day, it is divided 1 or 2 hours. I said, just try to think that you are spending your quality time with your child in those 1 or 2 hours. Not to do anything extra, not to do anything apart from whatever you wanted to do, or apart from a neurotypical child's development. Just be very natural while connecting with your child in those 1 or 2 hours which you have every day with your child. Just enjoy whatever you're doing. Just enjoy being with them. Just enjoy exploring their interest. As she mentioned about water play. If she likes to play with water, I try to connect with her with water, because water becomes the source and medium to connect with my child. Because water is her inner drive. So somehow we are wanting to promote that inner drive based approach. Whatever the child's interest, let us try to follow it, so that eventually the child will be into the situation and steps they would want to fall better on our expectations. They would want to fulfill our expectations that way.
That's a very good answer. Also, in between, supposedly, the timing when we are not around,
Correct.
when parents are not around, they do, watch television. Obviously,
True.
they can't all the time do some or the other activity.
Yeah, absolutely.
So, how do you restrict that? Or can you, supposedly, 1 hour of television, or can you make a schedule?
I'm not against screen time or TV.
Yeah.
Because
it's a new generation.
I've watched a lot of TV in the childhood. I myself do still watch a lot of web series, and I do consume a lot of content from OTT platforms and everything. So I'm not against that. See, why and when that would become a problem is when it is interfering with my daily routine and daily functioning and daily performance and daily participation. When that screen time starts interfering, that is when exactly it becomes a problem. Are you getting me?
Yes.
So I'm never against screen time. What I just want
it should not hinder.
Convey to the parents is, it should not get you replaced. The screen time should never get you replaced. Getting me?
Got it.
Because the essence of parenting is following what my parent is, how my parent is, where my parent is. The child wants to do that innately. But somehow
waiting. So the child is waiting.
Yes, the child is
Mama
waiting
and Papa
when
will
Papa
come
When
and
they
we'll
come.
have that time.
Yes. They are eagerly waiting. But what happens with working parents? They are completely kind of drenched up.
Drained.
Reaching home, they are completely drained, and then the child comes, and then they feel that it is a behavior that wo bachcha mere ko chhodta hi nahi hai, and the child always wants to cling to me.
Yeah.
You can just imagine the situation of a child. The child is seeing you
has been
only
waiting.
1 hour. Only 1 hour in 24 hours that the child is seeing you. Because after that he has to go to sleep, he has to get up early. By the time you leave for office, he is also leaving for school. So you are getting very limited time. I would rather want all my parents to get connected with the child in that available time, rather than cribbing about I have less time. At least let us utilize that available aspect of time which you have with your child in a quality way, just by meeting them at their level of understanding, meeting them at their level of play, meeting at the stage of their communication, not into my expectation zone. I'm not going to meet my child as an adult.
Correct.
I'll have to go back to my childhood to connect with my child.
True. That is the answer to the question.
Genuine
very
answer.
well.
Very well.
Because that's how we have to deal with all the current scenarios. So previously, if you go back to the generation where our dadis used to be, they never had television. So they had to adapt that, yes, this new generation is going to watch television. So now after television, once that has been adapted, now we have the new gen mobiles and these kind of things.
Gen Z.
So everything is going to evolve. So we have to adapt to it, and accordingly, keeping those in the routine, you have to then plan your daily life.
Planning is never success. With ADHD,
Okay.
planning never succeed. If you plan, she's like this, and when she's busy in there, I will do something. Never, ever planning is success. Do whenever you get a time. Do it. When she is busy, do that thing. If you plan, she is busy over there, and I do my stuff. She will not allow to do. She's like, you are busy. Okay, I will do mess up.
I will mess up more.
I will mess up more. She's like that.
Is that so? I mean, do you resonate with this?
I agree to what Aysha says. As adults, we are very ritualistic. We are very stereotypical. And we kind of blame our children being stereotypy and being repetitive.
Correct.
But I don't want to affect my schedule at all. I don't want to do anything away from my schedule, away from my timing. I want to cook and be ready by 1 o'clock only for lunch. I want to cook and be ready for dinner by 9 o'clock only. If I'm keeping that mindset, I will never be able to bring up any kind of a child. Because the child is going to throw those challenges. The child is going to throw those unpredictable behaviors also sometimes. The child is going to throw those undesirable needs or undeserving needs also sometimes. You might have to put out some time and deal with that. Okay, so I'm very happy with what my parent has accepted and adapted from our system. Is that she's not being ritualistic about following a time schedule and a routine. See, we are...
Sorry to cut you, but I have always learned from professionals that these children love routine. Anything off routine, they can't handle.
No.
So this is something new that I'm
totally
knowing.
opposite to my daughter. It's like if
This
you
is
are
something really new that I'm learning from both of you for the first time.
If you are planning something, my daughter will not allow to do. Okay, because you planned that, I will not do.
No, not planned, but
you are think that. I'm not allowing. I'm not comfortable with that. Whatever you think. If you want to think, you want to do some household work, and she wants to play.
No, not your routine, but her routine, the child's routine. So I want to know. I mean, you were saying so.
It is said that children with autism are very routine based because they are more attracted to materialistic stuff, to objects, to kind of non-living aspects than the living aspects, because they are socially withdrawn. We say that they are socially withdrawn. So they have their own routine. They don't like things apart from routine and stuff like that. But that is exactly how, I won't say therapy, but how development molds the child to adapt, to adjust, to increase that awareness. If I have to put it across this way, few things are very much important for every individual. Awareness is important, correct? A lot of attention is important for every individual to go ahead. Arousal is also more important. Adaptability is also important. Somehow a child with autism is lacking in these aspects. You start working technically, you enhance their arousal level, you get it more to optimum arousal. It impacts the adaptability of the child in different environments and different routines. So it is not an overnight thing, but it is a process. How I'm not saying I want to get my child out of the routine, but how I want my child to become more flexible, adaptable, moldable through his increased awareness also, because now the arousal has worked out, the adaptability is also increased, and now is the chance when I'm going to give a lot of awareness to my child, a lot of exploration to my child through play. Awareness has come up. Do you question that attention will never come up? Definitely attention will follow after awareness.
True.
Yes, but अगर मैं ये कहता हूँ मेरे बच्चे ने ये एक्टिविटी के लिए एक जगह पे बैठना है, sitting tolerance I'm expecting for 5 minutes that the child has to sustain because I want him to do it.
Which is
without, like, by escaping the arousal, the adaptability and the awareness stages, do you feel that attention would be coming into picture?
No.
Never. So getting me. So it is a process. It is not an overnight thing, as I said. It is not. I would say it is a very sweet and slow process of fermentation. Okay, it takes time. It takes its own time. If you want to make the dosa out of the dosa batter immediately, it is not. Okay, you have to keep it overnight. You have to keep it for a bit of time. You have to give it its own sweet time so that it comes up better on the pan. Okay, so if you go through these steps, I'm sure that I'm not wanting to intentionally break the routine of my child. See, I'm being very clear. I don't want to break. I want him to become more adaptable, more adjustable, because that is what the dunyadari is going to expect from the child. That is what those higher functions the child is going to develop and is going to, while getting integrated in the society, is the child going to get only that therapist level ki people? No, the child is going to come
No.
across a variety
Yes.
of people. And that is the
Yes.
reason we always ensure our children not being staying with one therapist or one kind of therapy over a long period of time, because we don't want dependency over a person or a professional. Okay, the child has to generalize the skills which he is developing.
True.
First, associate and then generalize. So this is how I would want to answer it. That it is a process. It is a process to go through few steps to reach out that attention level, to reach out that that place in that stage where my child is following me, where my child is fulfilling my expectations.
Some new things that I'm learning today, which is fantastic. Okay, let's get back to Pica.
Yeah.
So I would love to know what are the strategies that you use to be able to cope up with.
It starts off with, as I said, sensory integration therapies, working on the tactile registration of the child. Simultaneously, once the tactile registration is coming up, we also want to work and build the hand awareness of the child. Once the hand awareness is built up, in the home program, I would want the parents to generalize a lot of use of hands in the daily routine functions, because picking up this cup is a different hand movement. Filling water in this cup is a different hand movement altogether. Writing is a different hand movement. Cutting vegetables is a different hand movement. Squeezing clothes is a different hand movements. Kind of jerkifying the clothes is a different hand movements altogether. Wearing my clothes is a different hand movements altogether. Combing my hair is a different hand movements. Just utilize that developed hand awareness into a lot of daily routine functions. That is what I said, giving that exposure and giving that involvement in the daily routine functions. Hand awareness aaya, body awareness eventually improve ho raha hai with the regular therapies and with the ethical practices if the body awareness is coming up. Okay. I am sure that it is very easy to overcome this condition. Okay, it is not that crucial and difficult, because you are not seeing the dysfunction out of it, you are seeing the function
out of it.
You want to extract the positives, you want to extract the goods and the bests which are available out of what is an unacceptable behavior, unacceptable social behavior.
Okay, another debatable question, so to say. You, as far as I know, you have stopped your child's schooling. So, like, what was your experience?
Because
And
school is
have you chosen to be put your child in a special school or a normal school? And why? And then I would like to know your review on the same as well.
Sure.
because I go through a number of schools. Schools are not allowed because she's hyper, because she's yelling, she's flapping her hand. Other children are getting disturbed. Their mindset will get disturbed. The teachers is not capable to handle my child. I suggest him, I keep my shadow teacher. No, it's not like that. For one children, how can I allow? Like says this sentences are in a special school I went it. This is not a special case. This is the ADHD problem. Here is the autism kids. We are not allowed. The criteria is not there. Where should I go for her schooling? Like I like homeschool. I do myself.
Okay. So that's the reason you took up homeschooling.
Homeschooling. I do myself. Now she started learning 1, 2, 3. Seeing the number 1, seeing the number 2. Because schools or special school, some says like some criteria is there. In that criteria, your kid is not fitting. Normal school saying we can't take that because she's yelling, flapping, like this.
This is something new to me.
Children are not. Many children are there. They are not allowing because of their behavior. Some schools are there, okay, accept that, but on a conditions. Like you are supposed to be there whenever children need. You have to be there. There's some timing. If school are if school are 6 hours or 4 hours, the children is you will go. You will take your child in half an hour, 1 hour. What kind of this? When she will get study, when she will get academic management, like this I'm suffering now. because schools are not allowed to do, and special school have some criteria, and in that criteria she is not fit in that.
I'm lost.
I would ask you. I'm a very passionate person about cricket. We have our finals coming up this Sunday. I feel I should be playing for my country. Do you also feel the same?
No, I'm not capable.
Why?
I can sit and watch and cheer.
Okay. So you mean to say something is lacking in you?
Of course.
What is lacking?
I don't have that ability to be a cricketer.
The ability.
Yes.
The preparedness.
Yes. The skill.
The skills.
Yes.
All these things are lacking.
Yeah. True.
So if I'm taking schooling as the ultimate final game to be played. Okay. Schooling is that ultimate final game which all the parents would want their child to play.
I never wanted, but I was also forced.
True. So there's a lot of preparedness which runs behind this. There's a lot of development. There's a lot of preparatory stage which should be there for schooling to be coming in the picture, isn't it?
Correct.
Yes, there would be a lot of compliances required by the child also. The child should also get separated from the parents in order to initiate schooling, because if the child is keeping on crying and cranky and stuff like that, the school would again want to send them back, isn't it? So a lot of preparedness stage is required. Now, if I'm skipping this preparedness stage and I'm saying that I want to play the direct international match of cricket, what will I be able to do over there?
Nothing.
I would be failing or I will be succeeding.
Failing, definitely.
The chances of me succeeding are very minimal. But now, I know it is too late, but if I'm starting my journey of fitness, I'm starting my journey of skill development, I'm starting my journey of coaching, eventually one day you feel I'll be able to play some kind of professional cricket.
Yeah, at least yes.
Yes. So preparedness is the utmost important aspect which nobody wants to cater and which nobody wants to consider also. Okay. So my appeal to parents, my guidance to parents would be, some kind of preparedness is required for your child to be sitting in that school, isn't it? Why aren't you wanting to work on the development which is going to give you this preparedness initially, before beginning with those academic concepts, those academic activities, those cognitive skill development? Correct. So start working on the developmental aspects which are precursors or which are going to succeed or which are going to take you further ahead towards schooling and towards academics. Because if you want to consider your child as, now if I'm taking Omehani's example, she is at 5.5 years old. She is at a age of 5.5 years old, but her level is somewhere close to a 2.5 years old. Yes. So this is the practical scenario. I hope you are okay if I'm sharing these details. So she is at 5.5 years old and behaving like a 2.5 years old child. Do you want to see Omehani in a 5.5 years old autism children special school setup? Or you are okay and you are very happy seeing my child into 2.5 years old lads who are very typically developing, okay, going to a typical normal school, preschool I would like to say, yes. Where are you more happy as a parent to see your child?
Obviously, wherever she is able to adjust and cope.
Able to adjust and able to cope.
Yes.
If she's showing the level of 2.5, is she going to cope up into 5.5?
No.
So a parent's dream of seeing her into 5.5 years is really expectations.
Yeah.
Yes.
Which is wrong.
Yeah. I won't say it is wrong, it is inappropriate.
Correct.
Or it is, the child is inadequately prepared for that level. But at the same time, if I'm seeing this possibility of admitting my child into 2.5 year old children, typically developing 2.5 year old children, the child is going to be connecting, able to be understanding their play, able to understand their communication level, able to play along, get along, co-regulate in these children. That is where normal mainstream schooling is coming into the picture. And I would like to take this opportunity to update everybody that Team CRC has integrated hundreds and thousands of children into normal mainstream schooling. So we are wanting to work towards the discharge of our child.
Correct.
And when I meant to say discharge, you might have heard the word discharge in terms of hospitals and medical management. But when I mean to say discharge, it is like the child is being discharged from something which is away from normal, away from typical, and the child is going to get integrated into his peers, into his schooling, into his family, into his circle, into everything which is very much valid and applicable for the child. Okay, so rather than aiming for chronological age appropriate development and schooling, I would rather want the parents to understand the social maturity appropriate development and schooling, which will definitely make it easier for the parents also, for the school also, authorities also, and for the child also. The majorly the child.
Correct.
Okay, so we just don't want to focus on the child. Child being in the center, we want to focus on the parents also, we want to focus on the family also, we want to focus on the society also, we want to focus on the school also.
Correct.
That is the reason we come up with a lot of programs for everyone, because we would want child to get integrated back into his society. With appropriate acceptance also and with appropriate eligibility also.
True.
Okay. So I am not in team of normal mainstream schooling or special schooling. I am wanting to understand the level of my child and give him the challenge appropriate to that. Just not keep on doing those activities which are being shown so easily. Like I would just like to say my profession specifically, occupational therapy, has become so dilute that parents called OT activities everywhere.
Correct.
It is becoming so dilute. Occupational therapy is not about OT activities. It is about having that science and understanding of when to use, what to use, where to use, and there is some preparedness which is going to be required to understand where the child is and where you want to take the child. Because it is going to be a strategic plan, right? It is going to be a goal-oriented plan to take the child step by step ahead. So I remember when Umehani had come to us, she was definitely not prepared for that schooling aspect, because she was very over-explorative, going here, there, not sitting at one place. But I'm very happy to state that today she is having that readiness. Although the parent is not getting that much of acceptance from the society, we are in the process of helping the parent. But I would want to make my child first prepared for schooling and then start working on the aspects of academics. Development ko pehle nahi kiya maine. Or directly if I jump on the academics, does not make sense for the child also. Yes. Correct.
Perfect.
And when I'm covering up the development, it is actually correlating and making the child much more grasp, understand better those academic concepts and use them practically into the daily living.
So I think we go back to your one-liner, meet the child where the child is.
Yes, absolutely.
It applies here as well.
Absolutely.
So well put across. Now, a lot of notions that are being cleared.
True.
Okay, so now my question will be a little focused to Sir. I would really love to discuss about how do you deal with adult autism?
Okay. I have come across many such cases of adult autism who have been on the spectrum since like many years. It is a very difficult state for the parents also.
Sorry to cut you.
Yeah.
But we did discuss that, when the child is in those 5 years, still 5 years.
Yes, early
initial years. It's really easy to mold them. It's really easy to, incorporate a lot of things.
Yes.
That's the reason I wanted to discuss. How do you deal with adult autism? Because that stage is gone. So now how to go about that?
True. I come.
True.
So I've come across a lot of cases with regards to adult autism. Now, dealing with adult autism is kind of a bit different strategy than what we do in an early intervention case. A child who has come before 3 years of age, how we mold him, because the learning speed, the learning ratio, and the learning capability of the child is much more higher at that age. Because the neuroplasticity of the brain has not yet covered up. So we are into that building up stage. We are into that habilitation stage. When you talk about adult autism, we have to talk more about rehabilitation. We have to talk about more of, because that learning ratio has gone down, that learning speed has gone down. What I want to see in my child is independence. The first and the major goal, my major perspective and objective over here is, first my child becomes independent. He starts living for himself initially. Then he starts thinking about the people around him. That is, he goes on to the family. He becomes an integral part of the family by helping them out, by performing certain things for them, by being productive in the house itself. Now later on, I would want this child to become more productive in the society. Okay, so integration in the society is the third step. We start off with child being independent at the first stage. Once he's independent, he'll be much more capable. He'll be much more empowered to help the family, help the parents, help the people around him, help the friends. After that, this child goes on to helping out the society or doing something productive for the society, or earning certain money, or doing certain things which are remunerative
Correct.
for himself as well. I don't want to make my child really very bright doing everything. I want him to focus on one skill which he is best at, which he is interested at, and I will want to develop everything which would be supportive towards the skill development. We have heard about many children with dysfunctions running their own cafes, running their own. In future, they do a lot of their own business and stuff like that. Now, how is that possible? That is possible because the parents did give them timely opportunities to become independent in the first place. Then they started helping out in the daily household chores in the house. They started taking responsibilities of a lot of things in the house. And then slowly, gradually, they started pursuing their skills, their vocation ahead, their interests ahead, with regards to a lot of help and a lot of reconstruction, a lot of support system and support empowerment with regards to running their own businesses, beliefs, running their own ideas, or running their own interests. Okay, so my take on adult autism would be we again are going to see the child available and not the autism available in this situation.
Correct.
When I'm seeing the child, so I just like to share one small case history. I would just like to add up something with regards to one of my cases who had come into a very severe situation, severely aggressive, severely hostile, severe biting to the parents, grandparents, biting on the same spot again and again. It was a very torturous situation for the entire family. They had to opt out for the child to be staying away from them at some places who are catering to children with or adults with autism. They to send him outside. He came back and then he was very much into aggressive states and very much demanding aspects, very much self-directed scenario. This child is very high on spectrum, very much out of the control and out of the state, has now got back to his routine. He's thinking that much that I want to make pav bhaji in the house. My parents do not eat pav, they eat bread. While purchasing things from the shop, he is getting the bread along without being told and without being said. He is thinking, imagining that the butter is also going to be required, which is over in the house. He's buying that from the grocery shop nearby, everything by himself. We have been able to reach to this level in adult autism just because we could solve this mystery by few formulas which we have with us, which I just disclosed that independence पे पहले काम करेंगे हम. We'll be focusing on the family approach later, and then we'll be talking about the society aspect. So a child with those kind of severe dysfunctions and a child who is able to think about his family, about the people around him, is what we have achieved. And if you ask me about my achievements, I would just say achievements are the results which we have produced as a team collectively in those parents and those children. Because even if you can improve the quality of life of one person in your entire journey, that is worthwhile.
Very, very well said. Very true. So we spoke about future.
Yeah.
What are your plans about your child's? I know it's very early but you might have planned something or.
So based that I didn't plan anything at all. Because if I plan, it doesn't work.
It doesn't work.
They make me negative. My negativity is very harmful for my child. So I'm not like that. Okay, study is there. First is mental health, then is educational health. Now I'm focusing on my child's mental health. Forget about study, forget about academic. Little bit she have to win. Or like she have to, whenever she wants to do, I'll take, not academically, I make a booklet, like single paper, laminate them, sketch with sketch pen. I wrote it A, with a happy moment, we will do a new thing. Honey, now you want to study, you want to do A, or you want to B, do B, or you want to do whatever you want to. She put the booklet out, and she whatever she wants to do, she do.
Okay. So you give her a choice.
I am having, okay, we will do scramble. She started doing scramble. I also started doing scramble. She put like this. I'm copying with her. She is not copying me. Like this, she started doing, okay, mama is doing not good. It means I'm also not doing good. So she's like, I have to do good. She from here, now she is here.
Okay.
By watching, by creating a scene. Okay, you are doing, not by words, by action. I says you're doing by, not by words. Because by words she's like, I'm doing right. You have to accept it. But not by words. I say by actions you are doing wrong. So that helped me much better. By words, it's better to do by action. It's helped me to develop how brain exercise also. Okay, mama is doing wrong means I'm also doing wrong. Scrambling, वो बाहर जाती है, scramble करते करते मैं भी बाहर चली जाती. No, so you also know. तो वो भी अंदर अच्छे से करती है.
I would just like to have a couple of reflections on what my parents said. I'm very happy that as a parent, she's trying to work and prioritize the mental health of her child.
Yes.
The world is fast moving towards mental health. We all are having a lot of now awareness about the mental health being prioritized. I am also very delighted and happy that I am trying to focus on the mental health of my parent since they are focusing on their child's mental health. Vice versa. And a very nice example which she shared about reciprocation. She is reciprocating her error, and the child is identifying that this is an error, and this is how that bond and that connect is helping the child to advance and learn ahead. So, the child has started reciprocating so well and reflecting on the parents' emotions, parents' actions, parents' gestures, and that is what not a child with autism would do ever.
True.
The most cutest thing is that when I give up, some in a day, in a week, I get, okay, honey, I'm done with you right now. Sometimes
you do have those situations.
I sit like this and just watching her. She's like, you're watching me? Yeah. But not in a words, but in a action. She comes next to me. She put her hand on my shoulder. She says, okay. She's lying her head on my shoulder. And we are saying, yeah. She's saying, repeat, yeah.
So she's trying to pep you up. She knows those emotions.
Me. Okay, you are done with you. I'm there with you. Just be strong
and go on.
Just move on.
That's an amazing. She's tried to. She's able to identify those emotions as a big thing.
Mama is done with me now.
So I need to give her that dose.
She gives me that
continue.
Dose. She gave me that dose. Okay, mama. Okay, I'm also done with this thing. I'm also sitting with you. She sit with me 1 hour, accurate at one place.
Oh wow.
She's giving me some yeah in her languages. No, mama. Yes, mama. Okay, mama. She's rubbing my hand. Okay, mama. Okay, we will go.
Oh my God.
Take my hand to the glass and take some water, mama.
Oh my God, this makes me. This is a very emotional moment because.
It's very emotional thing.
Yeah.
It's like a boost for me.
Yeah, definitely.
My takeaway is going to be the empathetic reciprocity which she showed to the parent. I'm really taking this moment away back with me today.
Yeah.
And it gives a lot of joy, pride, happiness. Moments like these are actually what define parent and child bonding.
True.
Even moment what she mentioned, the elder brother, the elder sibling being there always for her. The elder sibling being voluntarily participative into what my role is going to be to play with my
sister.
younger sister, to deal with her, to handle her, to get things done with from her.
Hmm.
So I'm really happy with the entire families coming
It's
together,
coming
and that is where we want to always say that my happy child is going to lead to my happy family, is going to lead to my happy society.
Correct.
Now I say that.
Fantastic conversation that we have had today. A lot of learnings, a lot of emotions, and yes, a lot of new things to learn. So I'm thankful to both of you for this session today. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
So
Thank you.
much.
Thank you.